I would like for Nathan's family to come and sit right here. And in just a moment, Sister Latricia is going to sing before we dedicate little Nathan to the Lord today. And while they're coming, I want to just share a couple of scriptures with you. Jesus, in the Gospels, it's recorded, he had little children coming to him. And I can imagine they were just crawling all over him, and, and the disciples were just horrified. You know why? Because Jesus had said, before Abraham was, I am. And he had said, I'm the everlasting Father, Prince of Peace, King of Kings. I'm right here. And so I can imagine that all these kids crawling all over him, they were trying to say, don't crawl on the King of Kings. Get out of the counselor's lap. Think you're bothering the mighty God. But Jesus said this. When he saw it, he was much displeased, and he said, suffer or allow the little children to come unto me. Forbid them not. He said, for of such is the kingdom of God. Amen. He went on to say that whosoever shall not receive the kingdom of God as a little child shall not enter therein. So often we forget this aspect of seeking first the kingdom of God. You can't get there unless you come with the humility of a little child, with the desire for information that a little child has, to learn new things, to believe new things. Amen? Any kingdom seekers know what I'm talking about? In Matthew, the 18th chapter, Jesus said this, take heed that you despise not one of these little ones. For I say unto you that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. So we know that there's protection on the children, and we know that the will of God is being carried out in little children, especially those who are raised in the house of the Lord. But we know that there are angels. Look, they don't know how to seek first the kingdom of God yet. They're growing up in this church, so they're going to know pretty early. But we know that there are angels literally assigned to them. And then in verse 10, it says, take heed that you despise not one of these. Thank you, Jesus. So Jesus was careful to show the example of little children. We're going to dedicate him, little Nathan. We're going to pray over him, just like some of you were dedicated. And I guarantee this, I was joking with the parents and asking little Nathan what it felt like not to be dedicated to the Lord yet. But I know that he was born to a godly family, and a godly mother prayed over him the second that she knew that he was going to come into this world. And he has already been prayed over and dedicated, not by me yet, but he has been prayed over, dedicated to the Lord. And I want to just say this, that God has a plan. He had a plan when you were dedicated to the Lord. He had a plan, Lance, when you were dedicated to the Lord. Danny, he knew exactly what he was putting in place for such a time as this.
Being a mother was always the desire of my heart, and I believe God always knew that. Even as a little girl, I was the one with all all the baby dolls, and pretended they were my little children. But there was a time I didn't know if I was going to get to be a mother, and it scared me. And 2 years ago, God blessed me with my little boy, Jackson. And now it's 2 years later, and God's given me my second. And I didn't expect to be in this place, but I've never felt so sure in my life of something that has been a total gift from God. Every child is a gift from God. So today, as I get ready to sing this, it's all I can do but give this baby back to him, because he gave him to me in the first place. He trusted me and my husband to raise this little boy, so we're just going to place him in his hands. For this child I have prayed, and you heard my cry. For this baby I had faith, and you gave new life. In this moment now I pray, and I vow to you this day, I dedicate this baby back to you. I dedicate myself to train and love him like you do. I will do my part. I will put your word into his heart. I dedicate this baby back to you. You have granted such a trust with this precious gift. With your power and by your love, my all I commit. On the straight and narrow way, for your purposes I say that I dedicate this baby back to you. I dedicate myself to train and love him like you do. I will do my part. I will put your word into his heart. I dedicate this baby back to you. I dedicate this baby back to you.
Would you all stand? Little Nathan's already under conviction. God has seen fit to give this eternal soul that's in this little tiny screaming baby into a home everyone is filled with His Spirit and seeking His face, into a church that He's seen fit to give revelations and amazing insight into. It's not by accident. And he's feeling even more conviction as I speak. But I want you to understand the specificity that is in play right now. God knew before the world began that He would give little Nathan to you. And we're going to dedicate Nathan Andrew Douglas to the Lord today. And I want everybody to stretch your hand forward over this child. And we're going to ask the Lord to be with him, direct his life every single day to accomplish His will in Nathan, and that he might win many souls to the kingdom of God, that he might minister under the anointing and the power of the Holy Ghost. You see, what we can't really comprehend by looking at this tiny little body is that his soul is no younger than your soul. His soul is eternal. Amen. And this is the most precious gift that God could ever have given to us. Would you pray with me? Jesus, we dedicate Nathan Andrew Douglas to you. Lord, you've given him to this family. You've given him to this church. You've given him, Lord, to this world. But God, we turn around and we say, Lord, have your way. Use this life, Lord, to bring glory to you. Use this life, Jesus, to minister to others. Lead him, guide him, protect him every single day. Lord, I pray that as questions arise, that your Spirit would be there with him, Lord, to speak to him, that he would never feel estranged from you, that he would never know what it feels like to be lonely, because, Lord, that he'll always have a relationship with you. God, I pray anointing upon this family. I pray for these parents, God, that you would touch them, that you would speak through them, Lord, and lead them and guide them as they shape this life for you, as they instruct this child in your word. We thank you and we dedicate this life to you in the name of Jesus. And everybody said, amen. Let's give the family a hand. Thank you, Jesus. You may be seated.